Hey y'all, all y'all good people, boys and girls, men and women, children. Actually, I hope there aren't any children that are watching.
Yeah.
It's your co-host,
Wait a few years first.
Kimberly, with the Pop Culture Green Room, and I've got Blair, co-host, Pop Culture Green Room, and we've got
Hello, hello.
Stefanie with us today again, founder
Hi.
of New Wings Rising. Y'all, we're just gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna kiki. We're gonna catch up with some celebrity news, gossip, little things that popped up on our news feed, on our minds. Let's go for it. Stephanie, how's it going? How is your week?
It's going. I think the full moon, going into the spiritual stuff, of course, it kind of kicked all of our butts. Like everyone was thinking
Mhm.
that it was going to be, oh, it's the Capricorn full moon, everyone's going to be grounded. People were freaking wilding out here. Like
Yeah.
first, Donald Sutherland dies, like they took the wrong Donald on the
Yeah.
other side. I don't know what that's about. You know, JT getting a DUI, like what the heck is happening? And people
Right.
were just
It,
being
it
mean.
is.
I was like, you all need to go touch some grass. Seriously.
No kidding.
Everything's
It's just
crazy. It's yeah, it's everything. It's insane. And not only that, but okay, so y'all, is it just me, or maybe it's not just me? Is Justin Timberlake crumbling ever since Britney's book has been released?
Well, I
yeah.
think it's been crumbling a little bit longer than that, but
I can
Oh,
say so. I can say
probably
I agree with
so.
that too.
yeah.
It's my. Well, I feel like what the nail in the coffin truly was Britney's autobiography coming out.
Yeah.
Because I
Hmm.
mean, it kind of showed who he really was, and she said some very disparaging things about him and how he handled things in his breakup, uh, and just her in general, like handled things with her. And a lot of people were
Hmm.
kind of like, "Where's Dustin? I don't know. Where's Justin? We need his head on a platter now." And then it's like that, and then like this. I mean, they always do. He had an ego problem, obviously, because look how long it's taken for them to get the
Hmm.
instincts back together, and it hasn't even been anything like
Right.
official yet. And it's all because of his
You're right. It's
ego, and it could
always,
have happened years
mhm,
ago when it could have
which is
gotten back
true.
together when it's on their prime, and but I think now more than ever, he really needs this as a PR move for him. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Well, I just pulled cards for him and everything was reversed.
Oh,
Like it
Really? Oh,
came
go
out,
into it.
yeah. It came out Knight of Swords reversed, Eight of Wands reversed, and the Two of Cups reversed. So he's on a
wow.
downhill trajectory. Like his creativity is being hit.
Yeah.
Whatever he did, like leading up to this, he made really stupid decisions, and he's pretty
Yeah.
much losing all of his connections, like with those Two of Cups reversed. I
Mm.
joked
Interesting.
the other day that maybe he was just trying to come up with a new meme because the Gonna Be May was like getting
Oh, yeah.
old, but now it's
Yeah.
now it's going to be what it was it that he said, the world tour.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't get
It's
over the
just,
fact that the
but
guy who
the whole
arrested
thing with,
him didn't know who he was.
yeah, I thought that was, do y'all think, okay, how true do y'all think that is? Do you think he didn't know who he was?
Yeah, because I've seen where people have like been, it
Yeah.
would be like me asking my friends, like 17, 18-year olds, going, hey, do you know who this person is? And
Hmm.
they probably wouldn't know. That just shows
Yeah,
our age, ladies. Yeah.
I know. That's so
Yeah.
crazy. Oh
I
man.
definitely
I
don't
know.
think it's outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, which does make sense because it also depends on the age of the cop as well.
I mean, he was 22.
Yeah.
Oh, the cop was one. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
explains
he's
it then. Okay. All right. I didn't
That's
realize
what
he
it
was
makes
that
a lot of
young. Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it makes sense that he didn't know who he was. Okay. Got it. But didn't he let him go? Is that no? Didn't he give him a warning? Like to like
I don't
not drive? It was. I want to say they. I read somewhere that they said it was like the same officer who gave him a warning about taking off or whatever driving is the same one that pulled him over and gave him the DWI. I read that. I just can't remember where I read it at though.
I'll have
But
to check up on that 'cause I don't know. That's a good question.
allegedly, I have to. Yeah, I have to look into that. See, and they had the videos of like him blowing through stop sign. But I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm really curious as to how his marriage really is, though, with Jessica Biel. I feel like she's been doing a lot of work and like trying to get a lot of stuff done lately. And someone else mentioned this as well. And the amount of work and everything that she's trying to do, because she hasn't really been that busy in a really long time. Well, she actually has been doing some projects here and there, but she's been like really kind of getting herself like trying to like out there more.
Yeah.
And sometimes people like when they do that, that's whenever they brace for that separation.
It's getting your finances in order and,
Mm,
Yeah, I can see
yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
And to me, that would make sense.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
well, and that was the whole thing is like, because she was doing a lot of TV stuff lately where she was doing like the murder mysteries. And actually, I think JT went on one of the seasons. It was on Netflix or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
That movie Candy that she was in.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
she
based on a
was a
true story
Candy.
about
Yeah,
that
that was
woman. Yeah, who
that was good. Yeah, that was
I
actually
didn't
she did
see
really
it, but
good in that.
it was in that, and like I think that woman, I think he killed her friend or something like that. I think that's what it was, and I can't remember. It's been so long since I heard about it, and I didn't watch it. But she also produced that show Cruel Summer. That was a good guilty pleasure
Yeah,
of mine.
yeah. Oh,
That
yeah,
was
you
on
did watch
Freeform,
that.
but they canceled it after 2 seasons, which bums me out because I actually loved that show. And
Oh,
she
I remember you
she
talking about that.
produced that. Yeah, that was really good. She had a hand in that. But I'm kind of curious too. I mean, part of me thinks that she's gonna stick with him, but at the same time, like you said, with all the moves that she's
Mhm,
making, right now, that she
mhm.
might not.
Well,
See, that's
and I'm
something that I'm
interested to
thinking.
see how you would read this, Blair, because I got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Chariot reversed, and the Fool reversed. So the fact that we have two major arcana that are reversed with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like I think she financially can't do so.
That makes sense. If the
What
full
it
reverse
sounds
makes
Yeah,
like,
I
sense
could
because
see
because
that.
what she wants to ideally she wants to, but she can't.
yeah, it's kind of like she's feeling stuck right now because the fact that the Fool was reversed, usually representing new beginnings, when it's
Yeah,
upright, it's like she's stuck.
yeah.
And I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, if I would pull another card, if I'm gonna laugh if it's the Hangman.
See what's so interesting about it is that if it was a hangman, I don't if I don't know if it would be a hangman, or plus it's a hangman reverse because I feel like that if she it was a hangman
Actually, it's
like
just
upright.
it's just the
Oh
Ten of
damn,
Cups
kind of
reversed.
reverse. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she's
she's
not
not
happy.
happy.
Yeah.
I've had a sense that she doesn't seem like I don't I just have this gut feeling that she's not happy and she hadn't been for a while.
What
And I
was
feel
it?
like she may have done something more about that relationship, but whenever he was out in New Orleans filming that movie years ago, remember when he was on a balcony
Yeah. And he
holding hands
got
with
caught on a balcony holding hands with
yeah,
a
and like
car. Yeah.
and making out with her. Yeah, and it was became an issue, a huge issue. That was a big thing. And it's like, but she stayed holding on to him and she stayed there the whole time. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's and then now this whole thing happened, but she seems like she's saying she's staying by his side, but that always happens. But it's
Yeah.
Well, I just asked, I was
there's
like,
something going.
I just put out, I was like, okay, is she happy right now? Like, or what would happen if she would split? And at first it's the sun reversed, like, it's a big thing. It's a big
Mm,
transition that happens. But afterwards that came
right.
out, it was the star and temperance
Yeah.
upright. So like if she
The star.
there's gonna be
Yeah, definitely.
sadness and like a lot of heartache, but she's gonna be able to shine like she needs to shine. Right now he's just draining her.
Yeah, I just like be yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of like just saying this. It's essentially saying that it'll just be like one step at a time, and then
Mm,
like one step at a time, and then she eventually, like I said, shine on her own
Well,
and
and
be happy.
what I really like about the temperance card in the original deck, I don't know if you guys can see it, like they're
Yeah.
I can
shining
see it.
brightly over here, like in the distance. So it might seem far,
Mhm.
but good things are ahead. And it's all about balancing. Like in between, you have the
Yeah.
cups and like putting the water back and forth. But also, the flowers over here are the narcissus flowers. I probably said that incorrectly, but they
Mhm.
represent death and rebirth. It's actually in Greek
Mm.
mythology one of Hades' flowers. So it's all about the full
Yeah.
cycle. So, you first have to wade through those flowers to get to the shining light in the background. But if she so chooses, it just seems like good things are ahead for her, more balance in her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes sense. I
Definitely.
could see that. But I
It's
think
like a beautiful fit.
what really made me feel like something was really going on in that relationship was, believe it or not, was actually when she went to the Met Gala. And when I heard that she was that she had gone and stuff, and how she had like I didn't even know she was even going until I read an article about how she had like soaked in this she had been soaking like this, I guess, Epsom salt or something like that bath for like days so she can get her body into like her dress and everything. But I was like, because I've never known her to ever go to the Met Gala before,
Hmm.
and that she's been just doing more and more things. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see down the line like what happens, where it comes of everything. But what I do feel like bringing up the whole instinct talk, and just like y'all said, is his ego. I think Justin's ego, because it's like he
Yeah.
always has it like a carrot dangling in front of the other guys, and it's like they always just sit there, and it's like they wait.
Oh, for
It
sure.
seems like
That's
they
the best
wait.
way to describe it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Lance is doing his own stuff now. He doesn't need the world tour.
True.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Justin might need it now to pay all those fees, but you know.
Mhm.
Oh
It's like, I'm
my!
sure they
It's
would
like
want
it's
to
even the
do it in that,
pictures.
yeah.
But even the pictures and everything that I saw of him, like that surfaced, I guess, like throughout the night, or like even some of them, like that led up to that night. It seems like he's just been kind of going through it, and that not many people have noticed. And by through it, I mean like maybe alleged. I don't know, alleged. Maybe I guess you could say alleged substance abuse, because I mean he
Oh,
literally just got a
Steve!
DWI. So obviously you don't get it from eating Skittles. So um,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess where there's smoke, there's fire, but he's just I don't know. I'm curious as to what's how this is all going to play out. Has Brittany said anything? Does anybody know if Brittany Spears has made any comments or anything? Because I
Mm.
noticed she would be
I don't think
vocal
she's
here and there.
commented, but she did have, like, she apparently did a video kind of threw shade at him where she was like dancing, I guess, in the background wherever it's like one of his songs. And I want to say it was that
Oh,
What Goes
okay.
On song, I think, but
Oh,
I
really?
can't remember exactly. But I'm almost positive, yeah. And go
I
Brittany
love
for
it.
that. But my favorite
Oh,
thing
that's
meme that came out of that was
interesting.
a picture I saw with Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling together when they were kids. And then it's how like, and then I can't remember what the meme said exactly, but it's like there's a
I
picture of
think I saw
Justin's
this, but I
mugshot
can't
next to it.
remember it.
Is Ryan Gosling as Ken next to it. It was really
Oh,
funny.
I didn't see
His
that one.
mugshot
Oh, I
of,
saw it.
the
Okay.
Barbie movie was Ken. Like it was so
Oh my gosh,
funny.
I'm gonna have to look for it. Yeah, because I didn't see. I did see one somewhere. I
It
don't
was
even
a
remember the
fight.
context of it, but I did see a meme where it was both of them together as kids from the Mickey Mouse Club. But oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so.
I might have it on my
What makes
phone
you
because
laugh? And
somewhere
now
I
we're
got a
talking
little
about
one.
Ryan Gosling. Oh, do you? Oh, maybe you do. But it makes me think about Ryan Gosling, because
No, I don't
he
have it. I
was one of
thought I
those
did.
people that I kid you not, like when he was on Mickey Mouse Club, I really didn't. I thought that he would come and go. I thought that I would never see him again ever, and like he really shocked me. I never thought he'd be an A-list actor ever. But that's how life is. It's wild. It's crazy. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You
It
never know
also
these
shows when you
things.
treat people with kindness and aren't dicks, look what
Hmm.
happens.
Right. Exactly. Things.
Right.
Yeah. Good things can happen, and they can come. And you're right. You're absolutely correct on that front. Oh yeah. Oh boy. In other news, what do we have? Oh, that's what we didn't get to touch on because we missed last week. But Summer House. Stephanie, do you watch Summer House on Bravo?
I do not yet. Should I
Okay.
start
Well,
watching it?
I would say it's
Negative.
there's a certain it's like I feel like there was a certain season. I would say just wait till the new season starts to see what it looks like. I mean I don't think it's really worth like going back to the first season and watching it unless you're really big into like I don't know, maybe like it's not really. I mean, it's just a bunch of people. They really just hang out in a house and drink
No,
and
the
party
one
is
that,
pretty much what they do. But
yeah, the one that I got hooked on is actually Perfect Match on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that
oh
yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
season
seen
2
it.
came out and it's a shit show.
Yeah, I've
Like
seen
people are
season
trying to
one.
find their true love on these shows and I'm just like, yeah, like good luck with that.
Yeah, right. It's like all right. It comes to a time where it comes to the point where I'm like, okay, is this about love or is this about the exposure, the popularity, the brand deals, and all that other potential? I mean, look, hey, look, girls got to eat, people got to make money.
You
If
know
that's the
my
way they
thing,
want to do it, because
like I
I mean,
say,
even
get that bag,
every
make that money, do whatever you want.
right.
But
I
you
mean,
know,
Mhm.
at this point. everything, like, reality TV is so produced, it's kind of like I mean, is anybody ever there really for the real thing? So now it's kind of like, just take that fame and run with it at this point. But I don't know. It's really weird. Like reality TV is kind of like some of the shows right now. Just kind of they make me have lots of questions,
Yeah.
and I don't really know the
Yeah.
answers to a lot of them. But yeah. Well, Bravo. What it was I wanted to bring up because I was watching Summer House, and it was very interesting this season because there was a couple on there, it was Carl and Lindsay. And they actually, from the very first season, they started off. They were friends. They were like actually like the best of friends. Long story short, they've all like dated other people in between or whatever. They ended up getting together. Carl is, of course, he's going through his journey of his version of sobriety, and that's whenever he and Lindsay got together. It's been like a nightmare mess. Long story short, he dumped her on camera, I guess, while they were filming production. And she said she was blindsided, but then the other castmates were kind of like, actually, no, she probably wasn't blindsided. It was just a lot of drama and stuff that came out. But what really blew me was the fact that blew me my mind and just it irritated me because she's not one of my favorite people. But I think it just made me even it bothered me even more was for the reunion, she blew up Carl's spot. And what I mean by that was okay, so he's been on this, like I said, his version of sober journey. And so he's been working with this company called Loverboy, which they specialize in like in seltzers, basically in alcoholic drinks. And so they developed a line with non-alcoholic drinks that he's in charge of ahead of, which is a pretty cool idea. So he's doing that, he's heading that up. He went back to his old job. But the problem was that um he knew that like cocaine and alcohol were his biggest vices. That's what he stayed away from. And so he never made it like he never ran around and like preached about like telling everybody stay away from all these other things, like I'm not doing all these other. He never said that he stopped doing weed or anything of that nature. And so she went on the reunion, and they had cut it off, but it wasn't on the actual reunion on Bravo, but it was actually on Peacock, if I'm right, where she outed him and said that they like did mushrooms at a music festival together. And everybody was kind of like their faces and everything, because I thought it was really dirty of her because she was trying to get back at him. She was hitting back at him for what he did.
Hmm.
And I get that. But what I thought was really dirty was the fact that it's like she's now has a new boyfriend. She's supposedly since moved on. Yeah, it sucks the way that all that
Mhm.
and everything went down. But to go after someone who was, and actually especially him being in California, and the way a lot of things are held to different standards, and with medical treatment, with microdosing, with mushrooms and medical marijuana and everything, it's almost like it was really stupid. I thought for her to even bring that up and say you're not serious because we did mushrooms. They like did like
Well,
microdoses.
well, there's a lot of therapy out there that uses mushrooms and microdosing to help
Right.
people become sober
Yeah.
because it helps
Hmm.
like access
Right.
different parts of your brain and things like that. Like, I'm going to be completely honest, like it's helped me become sober from alcohol, which it is
Hmm.
legal here in Colorado, where I
Right.
am. And, but it doesn't, for someone like me that has ADD or whatever they're calling it
Hmm.
now, ADHD, it helps kind of ground myself and calm my mind without have to be on prescription drugs. So for her to
Right.
use that and like, I mean,
Hmm.
if she said something like LSD or like, something like that,
Right.
I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Or
Mhm.
coke.
dude,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's.
like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing? But like
Hmm.
microdosing at a
And
festival?
that's where. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
it's like I was like, she's really like just pulling at straws. And after that, I was just like, you know what? That's just my opinion though of her. But it's she was always just came off as really selfish and just like a bully. And that's I never cared for it. I never cared for it much, but it's and like I said, there's little qualities and stuff here and there I do see of her that I do like. And I'm like, oh, for saying I don't care her for her that much as a person. But yeah, that was interesting. And then the fun part, of course, did y'all see how Billie Lee had brought those receipts?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like I am. I can't wait for Tom to get back, only because I want to know what he's going to say and what's going to happen. But it's.
Because they're
I mean,
completely cut off from the outside world right now, right? Because he's on the Traitors or whatever it's called, filming.
pretty much. But I think he's got
Yeah.
some access. So I think that's how he knew about like a little bit of what was going on. But
Mhm.
but I mean, pretty much kind of like we were saying last time, which Billie Lee is like bringing to light. That I mean, I figured that Kyle Chan isn't it for the fame, and it's to get his jewelry out there and all. And I mean, who wouldn't want to? But I think it's a part of the main reason why. Kind of like how we guessed that he's got the most money out of all the people, I guess, in the group. He's the one with the most money, and then he's like they're on TV. So, like I said last time, that quid pro quo.
Yeah,
It's
speaking of
almost
money in that group, have you seen where Lana, I guess, or Lala is asking Bravo to cover like $3 million because she's in debt for the two houses?
I haven't looked into. I saw like
For
briefly. I
what?
saw
I'll
some
look at that. I didn't
headlines.
see that.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
there was
like, it
there
was a
was.
little blurb that came up talking about how, like, she's going to Bravo saying, like, "I need money, like, help me out," because she is $3 million dollars in debt, where she bought this because she has multiple properties in the LA area. And now that Vanderpump might not be renewed.
Yeah, I did see. I haven't looked at the.
So it
I
explains
haven't.
it's a
I've been
bunch of
so
freaking
busy
out
all
so
day.
much.
Yeah, and that's how I was saying. Yeah, because she's been freaking out a lot, like worse than everybody. And and it makes sense to me because her mom's on her payroll, I believe. Her
It's
brother.
like what Kristen Doty said, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told nobody,
But
nobody told her or Sheena that they had to buy two houses.
yeah,
Well,
true. And it's like,
So
and
let's
and I
go on that
guess
one.
people don't. I guess they don't think. With like reality television, it's a job too. So it's like that can be cut and
Yeah.
pulled from underneath the rug from you as well. And it just sounds like a lot of people thought that this is going to last forever. And reality's starting to hit them that they're not always going to be on
I mean,
reality TV forever, and they need to figure out how to bankroll and save and figure
well,
other shit
mhm.
out.
I mean, the cards that came out for her were the Nine of Swords, which is all about like fear and worries,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then the Three of Wands reversed with the Queen of Cups reversed. Like, yeah, she's not able to look towards the future. Like, everything is just kind of falling apart. Her creativity. So, like, the things that help bring in money, and
It
now
makes
the fact that
sense.
she's
It
not the Queen of
checks.
Cups,
Oh, it
like,
does definitely. Yeah.
she's losing her emotional shit.
Hmm. Well, it tracks because if you could tell, she falls apart. She's been falling
Yeah.
apart during her Amazon lives. Like she's been an emotional, like kind of an emotional wreck, and then she's got the baby on the way.
Yeah.
I can only
Hmm.
imagine because I honestly think that however it is, this season didn't go the way that they hoped it would have, and I think that's what it
Yeah,
is.
for
I think it just
themselves.
didn't go the
Yeah.
way they hoped it would have. Yeah, and I think that Ariana did her, and she did exactly what she was supposed to do. She was real. She was the realist. I think her and Katie were the realist, and
Yeah.
then
Hmm.
and it is what it is, and
Well, and
I'm
that's
not
the
gonna lie.
thing is
Mhm,
they allowed their jealousy to cloud their view of things. And instead of being able to take a
uh-huh,
step back and say, are we being played by the network and by all these other people? Or, letting our jealousy and everything else really blind us. Because if they would have taken a step back and actually breathe and, listen to what everyone was saying on the outside and maybe actually did read, comments,
mhm,
they would have realized people were Team Ariana and Katie. Like, even back
Exactly.
then, when they filmed back in August, they rallied around Ariana, but all Lala kept hearing was Ariana's getting, she's glowing up, she's blowing up, she's getting all the support, and I
Hmm.
didn't. But their situations were completely different.
oh, yeah, and
Exactly. And it's like she failed to realize that
Mhm.
they're completely
because she was
different.
complicit early on. Yeah. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure,
it's like,
completely different. And but
and
that's what and that's completely interesting. Is I think a lot of it too is I think they're banking on being like regulars on the Valley, but the Valley is already really full and
mhm,
it's working with the
that
cast they
yeah,
have now. And I don't think that's
mhm,
gonna change.
yeah. Oh, they're crushing it. Hmm.
And yeah, and then now it's like Vanderpump's like on hold, so it's kind of like I mean, I think they might get another season. For saying that Bravo
Mm.
tends to run some shows into the ground anyway, I think they will. I think it just won't happen right away because there's so much tension between everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, they're
what
gonna
Like
is
other
figure out
networks,
a way to
happening
wrap
at
it up.
Bravo?
whatever, who will, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think that's
Like
what it is.
unlike
I
other
think they're gonna
networks
try
who
and
have
just
like a
clean it
great
up for
show
like
and be
one
like, yeah,
last.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what I think. Because
Yeah,
like
I think
unlike
they're
other
gonna.
networks like
I think they're gonna.
Netflix, who tends to
Well, I'm kind of wondering if they need to retire Andy because I don't know what is going on, but everything it seems he's being like, because he's like a producer and stuff like that and helps, everything's just kind of blowing up and folding. Like Real Housewives of Atlanta, New Jersey, the Valley. Like the Valley's
yeah.
doing okay,
Yeah,
but
is he still producing?
is he
Is he
still
still
producing?
producing
Like,
those shows?
I think some of them
I
are
know he
producing,
has a
but
major
he's
part
got
in
he's got
one
his
of
day
it.
of reckoning coming. It's pretty obvious because he's got there's a lot of shit going down going down with him right like very soon, and I think a lot of that has to do with Bethany Frankel. And as much as like how can I say it, the best I can really describe Bethany to me is like a broken clock right twice a day. Because as much as I don't care for her, I think that whole reality reckoning that she started, it may have not gone the way she wanted to yet, but I think it's gonna start falling down a pipeline because like at some point the way things are going with him, he's eventually gonna have to step down or he's gonna retire on his own or something like that because he's been complicit and doing way too much foul shit and making and responsible for a lot of these things like going to hell with these shows or with these people and a lot of things that people have on him. Um, I think his day of reckoning is
Mm-hmm.
going to be in the near future.
Yeah, I just asked if he stays with the company, what will happen, or stays in the position, and it was the Queen of Pentacles reversed.
Interesting.
So
Oh, so what is that? Because I'm not too far.
into tarot. So basically, they're going to be
Yeah.
using their shirts. So it's not as
Mhm.
crazy as like the King, but they are basically with the Queen of Pentacles reverse. It's just like it's a bad investment. Like
Okay.
they
Yeah.
need to be done with it.
Yeah.
I just found it was
Separate off
interesting
without him.
that it's feminine energy when it comes from him, and it wasn't the masculine, which I think
Got it.
with Andy, I would describe that he is
Right.
feminine. He's very catty.
Got it.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's so
for
much.
sure.
Yeah, there's so much going on right now, like over there. That's why I think there's so like everything's being put on hold. If y'all noticed, they aren't like going forward with like really picking up cameras for any show right now. It's like
Yeah, you're
everything's like
right.
pretty
For
much
a lot of shows.
is
Yeah.
pretty much being put on hold. And I think that's what is a thing. And think about it too. BravoCon is a reason why they're skipping a year. I don't think it's because of budget. I think it's because they realize that
Yeah.
they've got a big mess on their hands. They got shit to clean up. That's what I think.
They would just do
Yeah.
better to have BravoCon and have like a big wrestling match. Just let them all duke it out. Give them boxing
Right.
gloves, like instead of a UFC fight, like put them in the
Mhm.
Pentagon, like put them in the cage or something,
That's
and just
okay.
let them
That's
go
like my
ahead.
too.
Give
Yeah.
Teresa
That's
a
like my thing
table.
about
Shit.
yeah. Exactly. Like my thing with Bravo too is the fact that it's like they ran a lot of these housewife shows to the ground. I think they did an excellent job with whoever produced the like the new like the reboot of Real Houses of New York City, the new version, because I feel like the
Yeah.
casting for that was like pretty clear. Because well, I mean, to me, it's like the kind of how can I say this, like the way I would have like if I would have had my own version of like Real Housewives over in New York. I mean, I may have probably titled it differently. That kind of demographic, those are the kinds of people I have to across my mind
Mhm.
who I think of.
Yeah,
And I think that's pretty brilliantly
that's what I
done.
see New York. Yeah.
And I think they kind of need to follow suit with some other franchises. What I think is also really
Mhm.
interesting is that he's gonna be a friend of on Real Houses of Beverly Hills. Well, Jennifer Tilly's supposed to be coming back.
Jennifer
Um,
Tilly. Yeah,
but
she
also
is. Uh-huh.
Amanda Catanay, who really, really fascinates me because she used to be married to John LeCompte, I believe it was, from Duran Duran. And she's married to what's his name right now? Nick Valencia from the Strokes. So I was very surprised because of the fact that
Mhm.
because she does like a lot of really good philanthropic work, but also like, she's really known for her dating history and stuff and her marriage history, stuff like that
Mhm.
in the past. Because she was with one of the Gallagher brothers from Oasis years ago, and it's kind of like, but she and Nick have been together for a while. But
Oh,
so I'm actually
her.
pretty surprised to find out that
Her.
she's
Oh,
going
wait,
to
I
be.
know who she is. Yeah, now I'm bringing it up.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Well,
she's
I'm
gonna be a friend
very,
of?
very. super cool, super witty. Yeah, she's apparently supposed to be a good a friend of because like she's friends with Garcelle,
Oh,
and
Garcelle. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. So I think that's actually really interesting because I'm
That's
pretty
gonna be
sure it was Garcelle.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I never thought I'd ever see her on a
Oh,
show or being part of something like that. But especially her husband though
no, yeah,
too,
me
Nick
either.
from the Strokes. I would have never because it's like I mean years ago it's like I would imagine like the Strokes, the whole indie rock scene, like
Because
they
they're
would
so
like
like
would never.
hipster and like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And but then also and it's like she has our daughters like what's her name, Atlanta. She does like a lot of like modeling and stuff like that too, and all, but and some acting. Her daughter's engaged to one of the guys from shoot, explain. It's escaping me right now, but it's a band I like listen to. Chromeo, yeah. And so
Oh,
it's like, but
okay. Oh,
it's gonna be
wow.
it'll be
Okay.
interesting to have her on a show. So I think that I kind of feel like they
Yeah,
might be kind of doing a little
dynamic.
there
Mm-hmm.
with Beverly Hills, and I can kind of see that happening like in a good way. But I think it's pretty cool like to have her on there, you know. And
Yeah. Oh, 100%. No, that's very true. You're right. That you're definitely right about. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I just knew about Jennifer Tilly. She was the only one I knew about.
yes, it's gonna. It's I think Beverly Hills is gonna be interesting. And I
Yeah,
can't wait for.
definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait for the new Roni to come back, and I really can't wait for Southern Charm because that's my favorite Bravo show, which are in the middle of filming right now.
Southern Charm is awesome. Oh, I know that's our jam. That is our favorite show for sure.
Hmm.
And that I think that's what entertains me. For saying that I'm not a fan of the South in general. I just like demographically, like my whole body and being just feels like it just needs to be back in California. But for saying that, I'm not a huge fan of of like yeah of like the South or like anything filmed there, unless it's like New Orleans because of like New Orleans is such a unique city. I really don't have that much interest in it. But like this seems like really got me gravitated though. I think 'cause it's like I've majority of the time I've liked most of the cast.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that. I can't wait to see that. And that's what we're talking back to like what I was meant to say earlier is that with Bravo, how it's like it's just kind of really going down a tubes. But if people are saying what's really frustrating is that you had other shows on there that were actually like critically acclaimed or that did well, but then they went ahead and canceled
Right.
them. And it's like a lot of them, like a
Like
lot of
Family
like,
Karma.
yeah, like exactly. I was about to say that from Family Karma, like it shows that mostly people of color, and it cast like Texacanas, and Mexican
Mhm.
dynasties. I thought was pretty entertaining. I kind of
Yeah,
get
that was
that one a
good,
little bit
yeah.
why they probably really weren't that crazy about it. But but like that was a good like Southern Charm New Orleans, which uh
Oh, that
like
was
for saying how well
awesome.
it's doing on
That was really
Peacock,
good.
I'm hoping that one comes back because yeah, and everybody loved the fact that they were real actual friends, and none of it felt
Mhm.
forced, and it was just very like
And not only
it
that,
was
but they
really
weren't creating, like, all these, like, events because they always, like, really had shit going on in New Orleans and
yeah, exactly.
things
This is New
like,
Orleans.
it wasn't they weren't they didn't create like, and produce events just for the show specifically. It was just
Mhm.
and like you said, like, they were all, like, friends and, like, knew each other and stuff, so that was yeah, I
Uh-huh.
liked it.
Yeah.
I like New Orleans for sure, and I think I told you I saw what's his name in person before I ran into him at the gas station. Or, Ray gets that
Jeff
close for the
Charleston.
redheaded. The guy that
Yeah.
played for the Saints. Yeah, Jeff, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but, yeah, oh, yeah, but no, I'm curious. I think I definitely feel like they should bring that back, or they should put a Real Housewives in New Orleans because I think that they would. I think that would be highly entertaining.
There was talk of that, but what I honestly think might happen, I mean, I'm putting out into the universe that they do bring Southern Charm New Orleans back. And you know what? I think I have a feeling that they
Mhm,
probably will or do something of that iteration with some of that cast
mhm.
because Michelle Canatel's is making a really big comeback in reality TV. And she
You're
won this
right.
past
She
season of the
is. Yeah, because
Traitors,
she wanted
and
Traitors.
she lives
Uh-huh.
in New Orleans now, and she's friends with all those people.
She's friends with all of them. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
friends with all of them. You're right. And Tamika and Reagan still hang out
they're
all the
friends now. Yeah,
time.
mhm,
Like
yeah.
they've always still been friends. And if you look, that's why I think you're onto something. I think that I mean I advocate for it to come back.
Uh,
1000%.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that was a really great series. That was a good one. That was a good one.
So I
Oh
guess I should
god.
watch that. The Southern Charm New
Yes.
Orleans? Okay.
Yeah, go back and watch it because it's actually
Oh
worth
yeah,
it. It's really worth yeah, definitely worth watching. But yeah, no, it was interesting. It was very, very interesting because it was filmed, in area. But what was a funny story was that where I used to work at, Reagan's former mother-in-law was a client. And so she would come in, and that's how like this is even before what season was it? Season 3? Season 2 that she got married again? Blair, do you
Yeah,
remember? How
I
many
think it was
seasons were there?
I think, God, let me look that up because I actually don't even remember offhand. Almost feel like there were I think 2 or
Yeah.
3 seasons. I think maybe 2.
I know,
But
that's what I was
I think
yeah, I
yeah.
think I wanna say 2, I don't think it was 3. I think it was 2 seasons. I think they were supposed to get
So
ready
what
to
I heard
film
was that I
3.
heard rumors that they were supposed to 2 seasons. I heard that they were supposed to
Mhm.
have a 3rd season because remember during COVID, like at my old job, like when I used to work at front desk at a hair salon, there was a woman that came in there and she has a local magazine and she interviewed for one of her first issues,
Mhm.
she interviewed Tamika. And she was telling me about it and how Tamika was kind of giving
Yeah.
her a breakdown about the show and stuff and how, like how it's like that she was really torn about, Jeff and Reagan because she was friends with both of them, and she kind of felt like Reagan did Jeff wrong, and
Mhm.
it's just saying that Reagan's husband grew on her. She liked him better than she thought she did. It's just saying, and a woman told me that Reagan told her that that season 3 was actually was about to start production, but it never happened, and I think COVID had a lot to do with that.
Mm. 'Cause and when you think about the timeline, it makes sense. And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of
Hmm.
people when I brought that up before, that's what a lot of people had said. They were like, "Oh, that does make a lot of sense, that checks." So I think that's probably a very possibility of very, very, very well possibility. But I honestly believe that I think you're right though, Blair. Do a Heather McDonald and do the predictions. So she's good at predicting shit like all the time. I'm like, she just said she'll like predict something. Like you could do this as a prediction. I think you're right. I think it's gonna come back and they're gonna have Trishelle, and I think they're gonna probably even pull some more people in that group though. But I did not I think I told you that an attorney that I had used, I was like on Instagram once for like Trichelle's Instagram. I was like just browsing through Instagram once and I saw that she's friends with her and I was like, oh wow. And I don't know why I
That's
had a gut feeling that she was friends with like all those like or at least some of those people in that circle like of I don't know why I had an instinct that she was. And sure enough, I was like, I saw the pictures now looked at and I was recognized. I was like, "That's her. That was the attorney I had." I could see her like somebody like her. I could see her on a show like that. But yeah. And what was it? Okay, Blair and I randomly had a conversation about two people that, and I didn't even think about it until Blair had mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's right." It's fairly random, but who actually
This is a
turned around
very
like
yeah.
a city? Yeah, talk about it, Blair. Go ahead and say. I'm gonna let you
This is a
go into
very
that.
random thing that came across my mind whenever I was like watching like Big Strawberry yesterday morning because like I love like watching HGTV or Magnolia Network religiously. I'm gonna admit to I'm gonna cop to. That's one of my guilty pleasures because it's like I guess people who know me probably wouldn't think that I'm really into that, but hell yeah, I'm into it. Well, I was watching like Fixed Up for the Lake House where they're like Chip and Joanna Gaines were like they're a married couple from they're based out of Waco, Texas, and I mean they're really known for the renovations that they've done and like really turned around like the city of Waco and I guess like surrounding areas. And for houses, they've become just like a really big. I don't even like they became like a really big hit so much so that they started their own network.
Mhm.
But I was kind of thinking, I'm like, I was watching this because like they're renovating a beautiful lake house, which had a little bit of a mid-century modern feel to it. And I was kind of thinking, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, these two single-handedly have like as far as I know, pretty much wiped the stigma of like Waco, Texas, like that it had before, before like they took it because now it's like people know it as Fixer Upper, Chip and Joanna, the Silos. I think that's really
Mm,
cool because before then, I mean,
it
if I
is.
remember, whenever we were like 12 years old, that's whenever like David Koresh and that the Branch Davidian compound was raided, that he was holding those people hostage at, and where he had lots of women and children were
Mhm.
killed
Yeah.
and stuff, and that his ATF agents were also killed. And it happened in Waco, and that was just such a big and controversial and devastating thing. But the fact that many years later they came and to me, it's like, I mean, I can't speak for people of Waco because I don't live there and I've never been
Mhm.
there. But it's
Right,
like to
right.
me, I feel like that's got to be a breath of fresh air for people who live. It's the fact that
I
when people
have been
think of
there
Waco,
before
okay,
Chip and Joanna. used to live there.
Really?
Yeah. So my
Interesting.
ex-husband, and I'm not saying how many years ago this was because that will age me. um, his grandparents actually lived in Waco. So he was from
Okay.
College Station,
Okay.
Texas. And when we would go and visit,
Oh,
Okay.
we would go and visit his grandparents in Waco. And his grandpa made some of the best peach moonshine that I have ever had. And I figure we're like past like any issue. Like I'm not
yeah,
saying
I know,
where
right?
he made it, but it was
Bring on peach
delicious.
moonshine.
But yeah,
And
like Waco back then, like the biggest thing about it was, well, the whole Waco massacre that happened, and
right,
Walmart
right.
was a huge deal.
And what was
Yeah, and
that?
it's so
Walmart was the huge
okay.
deal.
Oh, Walmart.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
I
do
see
remember
that.
Walmart opening up out there. I remember. Yeah, I do remember that. That was actually in the news when it was in Waco. But no, it's what's so wild about it was when Blair had brought that up in conversation. I was like, you know what? Oh my God, that is so true. I never even thought about it because I completely forgot that that David Koresh, the whole standoff was in Waco. I actually kind of forgot about it. Well, I mean, when I would hear about it, I remember it obviously, but I always associated Waco with David Koresh. But it's funny because now more recent years I associate it with Chip and Joanna Gaines. So yeah, I know that's interesting.
Mhm.
And wait, thank you, Chip and
Yeah,
Joanna
that's
Gaines.
just a random
Yeah.
thought I had, but it's like it's one of the things I realized. It's like I can't stop thinking about it. How it's like that. I'm like, I gotta hand it to them. They really, I mean, I don't think that was their intention, but they really left their stamp and their
Hmm.
mark on Waco and in a very positive manner. And it made me think, just like from like a positive standpoint of things, that it's like just because something can have like a dark history, a dark past, doesn't have to stay that way. And that
That's
just felt
true.
very nice and refreshing to think about. So it's like
That's a great
I want to
thing.
manifest I
That
had more on our
really
show one time.
And
yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah,
about
we could.
alchemy and transmutation. So taking a bad thing and transmuting the energy to make something
I love
positive.
that.
So
That's awesome. I
It's so
love that. I love
good.
that so much. Oh, well, everybody, boys and girls, men and women, dogs, puppies, cats, zebras, everybody who is here listening. That is a wrap for tonight, but thank y'all so much. We just wanted to kind of jump in here because we haven't done a pre-record in a minute. It's been a while and we've got a girl Stefanie here and like we're just having so much fun. Y'all like
Yeah, this is
great
fun.
things are coming. I've got I can't say it now, but I'm gonna wait till after it happens. But um, something big is coming. Very, very. Let's just say it really caught me off guard because I didn't expect this to happen this soon. I've been manifesting, but it's exciting and very exciting for the pop
Yeah.
culture green room. I'll just say that much. But big things are coming and happening. But yes, so y'all have a good night. Please like don't
Yes,
forget
good night.
like, follow, subscribe, us, Stefanie, everybody. So all right, take care. Love you. Bye bye.
bye.
Bye.